What does time have to do with your finances? Is it a gift, a burden, or only a neutral factor not worth considering? This is Kyle Garam, and today we're going to look further at the gift of time. That's right, I said gift. Everyone has time. Some use it wisely, some waste it. Time is a gift. Everyone will one day give an account for how they have stewarded their time. Time is a blessing financially. Time allows you to increase and multiply your finances. This is a well-known principle in the investing world. That is why so many are proponents of the buy and hold strategy. Whether you're talking about real estate, stocks, or other investments, it is rare not to see an increase in value if you are willing to hold them long enough. Those who experience a loss are typically the ones who become impatient and sell too early. Now, Genesis 8:22 says, "While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease." I want to focus on the first part of that verse. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest shall not cease. And this is a foundational principle of how God created the earth. Seed time and harvest shall not cease. Now notice it does not say harvest shall not cease. It says seed time and harvest shall not cease. There is a process. The process always begins with time. You have to plant the seeds. You have to make the investment. You have to buy the real estate. You have to buy stocks in that promising company. You have to start the business. You have to start the ministry. There is always a beginning before the harvest. And what happens between planting the seeds and the harvest? Time. The time in between the seed and the harvest determines whether there is success or not. It determines whether there is a harvest or not. Many people waste their time. People squander their opportunities. Some for lack of wisdom, some for fear of the present, some for fear of the future. I am fully confident that many miss out on their harvest because they are not patient. As followers of Jesus, one of the most important ways we must use our time is to walk in faith and to bless our seed. If you curse what you have started, how can you expect a harvest? The power of life and death is in the tongue. If you are constantly speaking the fears and prognostications of the world over your investments, how do you expect them to prosper? You have to stand on the promises of God. We have to believe that what He has promised will come to pass. He is faithful and true. It doesn't matter what the world tells us, and it doesn't matter what fear might say. If God has promised it, He will bring it to pass, if we are willing to wait for those promises to come to pass. If we plant our seed and are faithful to watch over our field, we will see it come to harvest time. However, what happens if we plant our seed and we get anxious? What happens if we run off to another field with new seed in a new place? Just like with the parable of the talents, we will give account for our time. Time is a great blessing that allows for increase and multiplication if we use it wisely. If we respond to time with fear, though, we cannot expect a good return. Let's look at some examples of how time can be a blessing. Now, in the US, home prices have historically increased at an average annual rate of 3 to 5% since the 1970s. The historical value gain for the stock market, typically measured by an index like the S&P 500 in the US, has averaged 7 to 10% annually since the early 20th century. The average growth cycle for most common crops is anywhere from 30 days to 6 months. During this time period, it's as much of a wait as anything. Now, I'm not a farmer, but I know the most important things are making sure that the crops get water and protection from pests and weather. The seeds in the soil do the rest. If we allow our seed, our investments, to stay in the soil, time will almost always bring a harvest. So you might be asking yourself, how do you lose then? You lose by not taking advantage of the blessing of time. You lose by not allowing your seed or your investment to fully mature. For instance, the S&P 500 dropped 50% during the 2008 financial crisis. Now, I can hear some of you saying, well, that's pretty bad. It's best to get your money out of the market at a time like that. Remember, time comes before harvest. From 2009 to 2021, the S&P 500 gained over 400%. Home prices dropped an average of 26 to 33% during the 2008 financial crisis and the years following. Some markets saw an average decline of up to 60% of home values. Now, that's a lot, and you might be asking me, Kyle, wouldn't you want to sell and get out of your house before it drops more? Absolutely not. If your home value has dropped that much, that is the worst time to sell. If you understand the historical cycles of home values, then you know that they're going to rise again. So what happened after the financial crisis? Home values began recovering in 2012. The cost of housing exploded as we got closer to 2020. From 2019 to 2025, the average home price increased by nearly 60%. By 2025, a typical home from the 2009 bottom had increased by 97%, reflecting an annual average growth rate of 5.4% from 2012 to 2025. That means if the value of your home bottomed out around $200,000 in 2009, its value would have nearly doubled in 2025 to $394,000. We all have time. Will we use it to our advantage or not? Will we continue to bless our seed and watch over it until the time of harvest? Or will we run to a different field at the first sign of trouble? The ones who are faithful will enjoy the harvest. If you enjoyed this and want more content like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, this has been Kyle, and I'm believing with you for your biblical prosperity.